balmy shores of sunny Florida to the cold winds of Chicago and everywhere in between, you're watching the Red Wemette Show, live, coast to coast. Talk of the town, Mr. Red Wemette.
Howdy, folks. It is December 17th, 2025, and I have Red Wemette. And it's good to see you. But also, we have, the magic button trick. We have Adam with us. Adam from Modvlog. How you doing?
Oh, how's it going, everybody?
Say hi to a few people. How you doing, Joe? Christina, good to see you. I know you're going to celebrate Christmas. I hope so. Tim Peroni, back again.
Yeah. Good to see you guys. Tommy Bridges, he agrees with me. Dang salty over there. At too salty at Batista's. It really is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught at the end of when we were watching or doing the show on your channel. What's his name? Finkelstein?
Yeah, Finkelstein. I don't think he's ever been on the show, has he?
No, but on the bottom, at the very end, he talked about his father doing this, his father doing that, different things.
Yeah.
On the bottom of the show, he said, my father had 5 different names that he used.
Okay.
Quite a character. Anywho.
I'm friends with him on Facebook, apparently, so maybe he has been on the show before watching.
Woohoo, you made it on time. Yes, I saw your comment about you being late. Thank you, buddy.
Gordito Guapo.
And
nice to see you guys. So, what do we want to talk about today, Red?
I don't know. We could talk about, I know something I'd like to talk about. Let's see if they want to hear about it. But Mr. Finkelstein was talking about different people. And I noticed that the only people that he talked about in like 8 or 9 different subjects were, by his comment, were Jews. And I'd never heard. He said, did you hear so-and-so? Did you hear so-and-so? Did you hear so-and-so? No, I didn't. But probably one of the most famous guys that I did know that was Jewish was Irv Weiner. Irv Weiner was a powerhouse. I mean, a real powerhouse. And very much Jewish. And he worked with the Dorfman family. I mean, his bonding business goes way back when. So he was a very good man, a friend of Milwaukee Phil's, a friend of everybody's. As a matter of fact, I was shocked to find out that he led Alan Dorfman to his death. He was actually there. And Frank Schweiss pulled a pistol and put one in Dorfman's back or somebody. And when he put him down, he put 7 in his head. And what happened to Irv? They were all good friends anyway. They all knew each other. Irv said, I didn't see anything. I was getting down underneath the car and nobody bothered me. And I knew at that point, it was going to leave a witness around that actually saw, that's going to say, I didn't see anything. And he was an old man at the time, but a tough old man, a good old man, a great old man. So there were some outstanding Jewish people, just like Bugsy Siegel was an outstanding person in New York and Las Vegas and California. Also, Mickey Cohen, he was outstanding. He stood out quite a bit. There were a lot of people that were outstanding, but their names that you can go and look and you're going to find Wikipedia on them. They're not names like Mr. Finkelstein, who has a very unusual name, brought up. any one of the people that he brought up, I just didn't know. And here is Big Mo. Greetings and salutations, Red and Adam. How you doing, buddy? Mo is the one. Mo is the one that sent me the.
He sent me the thing about about Gianni Russo as well. Oh my God!
He sent it
back
to me
to
too.
that. Yeah. I saw. What? Thanks for passing that along, man. I couldn't believe it when I watched that. I couldn't believe he said that. I couldn't believe it. Oh, and Tony said to me, "Don't hurt my brother. He didn't do anything. I just had to walk the other side of the basement, you know." Come on, man. I was crying. It's just like I said, everything credible is out the window. It's all credibility is gone. It was gone before, but after listening to that, I was like, I can't believe I'm hearing this. I can't believe the man is saying that. I really couldn't. Hit the like button, guys.
Tim Perot, I think I've covered this with you before. I hope you're getting well, Tim. Yes, Irv Weiner was subpoenaed, and he testified before the assassination committee because he did know Jack Ruby. He went to school with him, and he also went to school with his brother, his older brother. So he had phone conversations with him at American Bonding in 1963, or when JFK was murdered, 63. So in December, what was it? What month was it? November. So they had a solid phone record, and he was called to testify. And that's all a whole mess in itself. The FBI went out to Irv's house. He lived in the suburbs. I believe it was Morton Grove. But he went out there. He lived on a cul-de-sac. And his daughter was there, but he wasn't at home. And the FBI scared his daughter by saying, FBI, open the door, and some other things. And Irv addressed it when he was before the Senate committee. He addressed it Irv was a very powerful man, a very aggressive guy. But he said that you scared my daughter to death. And if you think you're going to get her up here to testify, you're wrong. I liked her. Liked him a lot.
Wow. Speaking of Irv Weiner, do you think he set up Dorfman since he walked away unscathed?
Yes, I do. I did then, and I made the statement then, and I'll say it now. He definitely set him up. He was wearing a tracker, what they called a tracker at the time. So they were supposed to go there. I talked to Irv after that happened. They had what do they call it? Reservations at the Bagel on Devon Avenue. And they got to the Bagel and it was too crowded. It was on a Sunday morning. It was too crowded. So they wound up at this other place. And there was a tracker on them. And the assassin parked on a side street, not far from where they parked, and got out of the car, walked up to him, and popped him once in. I don't know which part of the body he hit him first, but he hit him one time, and then he put 7 in his head after that. And that's how it went. Did I believe it? Yeah, I believed then that he set him up. I mean, how are you going to crouch underneath the car and say, oh, I didn't see anything? I mean, they just assumed there's somebody that had an argument with Joey Lombardo. He just had an argument with him. And Joey told him, he said, you're right. You can't do the time, Alan. Don't worry about it. And that's what happened. And Joey was conveniently at a police station filling out a report when it happened. That whole thing was like a big setup.
Yeah, that smells fun.
It was bad. A lot of Red's customers may not know it, but
they may not have known Irv, but they definitely knew Wiener. You know, because you had the gay customers in the bookstore.
A lot of people made that mistake. They used to call him Wiener instead of Weiner.
Yeah.
And he used to smile. He was just a very reserved person. He used to smile when somebody pronounced his name wrong. He wouldn't get upset by it, or he'd just go. He was a very, very neat guy in the sense of, I wrote about him, and he was probably the first person I ever saw, the only person I ever saw with monogram glasses. Up in the corner of his glasses up here, his initials were etched in there in the glass. And I
Oh
looked
my
at
God.
yeah, they were monogram gold frame glasses. And I looked at them and
Wow.
said, I've never seen anything like that before. But something else he had welfare clinics all over Chicago. And this was in the 70s. Welfare clinics. I had a sore throat. See my doctor. Which one? This one at this address, or wherever you want to go. Just tell him I sent you. Here's a card. And he took care of me. Nice guy. Why did Illinois halt bail bonding companies? They didn't. They didn't. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of bail bond, even today, being you can write a bail bond. You look it up, all your bondsmen. I'm going to look it up right now. Bonding in Chicago.
You want me to do a search?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so bail bonding in Illinois was stopped. September, they abolished cash bail, also known as money bond, on September 18, 2023, through the implementation of the Pretrial Fairness Act. This made Illinois the first U.S. state to completely eliminate the requirement for defendants to pay cash to secure pretrial release. What the hell does that mean?
No bonds. You just give your word that you're going to show up.
Oh, are you serious?
I guess that happened because of Obama. Obama.
Well, that's not going to make it. That's not going to make it difficult on the criminals, is it? What kind of shit is that? I didn't know they said. Why would they stop that?
I don't know. Big Mo says, "Get out on your own name."
Yeah. It was seen as punishing poverty rather than assessing actual risk, violating the presumption of innocence. No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cash bail disproportionately harmed low-income individuals, especially Black communities, who often remain jailed pre-trial simply because they couldn't afford bond, even for non-violent offenses, while wealthier defendants could pay and go free.
Come on, wealthy. I made bond a couple times. I wasn't wealthy at the time. If you were middle class, if you weren't on food stamps, you couldn't make bond. Or if you were on food stamps, you couldn't make bond. And that was a lot of people that were, ghetto. They lived in the ghetto.
Minority communities, yeah.
Yeah, and so Obama wanted to give those people a chance at a fair trial. And the truth of the matter is, I don't know if it changed anything anyway, because the public defenders don't really win that many cases. It's the people that have money. And if you don't believe me on that one, just ask, what's the guy's name? Jesse Smollett.
Juicy Smollett.
Yeah.
Jesse Smollett. Yeah. Juicy Smollett.
Ask him if money will buy justice. Because with what he did and what he expected to do and the money the city spent on it and everything else, he walked out with practically no problem at all.
Wow. Yeah, it's messed up. Putting Jesse Smollett. Yeah, Juicy Smollett. It's pronounced. It's spelled Juicy Smollett. Juicy. Yeah. Anyway, Juicy Chevrolet. There you go.
He's trying for his comeback, and I don't think his comeback's coming. But
no,
we know about it.
Isn't he the one? Isn't he the actor that put the rope around his neck and ran down the street saying that he was assaulted? Yeah.
Yes, and he hired the two guys from Nigeria.
Yeah. Right. Wow. What do you think of the documentary that's being made, Red, about about wow, where's my brain going?
Yeah, that's a good one for you too. Ask OJ
Yeah.
about will money buy justice? If he were alive, he'd tell you money will buy you just about anything you want.
Yeah, no, not Puffy, Mario. It's the guy that got killed by the cop during 2020. I can't breathe. George Floyd. They're doing a documentary about George Floyd. Did you hear about that?
They should, because from what I saw and actually saw in footage from the trial, it was baloney. It was total baloney. That police officer was being videotaped on an iPhone by some gal, and she just took small portions after things had happened. But the body, the camera from the body camera footage was totally different. Gave you a totally different point of view. This man was originally, they said there's no probable cause. Okay, no probable cause. That means you can go in and try and pass counterfeit money in a small store, and that's not probable cause to stop somebody and talk to them and ask them where they got the money. So there was no probable. They said there was no probable cause for him to stop him. Then he had more drugs in his system than is normally will keep somebody could stay alive with. And he said he needed to sit down. They sit him down in the car. He's not comfortable in the car. Then he wants to get out of the car. He gets out of the car. Then he tries to escape. Then the officer puts his knee in his back. Then he puts a knee on the neck after the back. The guy was squirming around. The guy was squirming around. So I think it'll be a very good movie if it's done properly. But then again, I like things that are truthful.
Okay. All right. So let me, since I brought it up, the movie is being called Daddy Changed the World.
He did.
That's the working title. Daddy Changed the World. It's about the life and legacy of George Floyd. So this is going to be about how wonderful George Floyd was. People are posting like, I wonder who will play the pregnant girlfriend that he beat up. You know, that should be an interesting scene. It's like, yeah, I know. So yeah, Daddy Changed the World, though. That's the name of the movie coming out about Mr. Floyd.
That might be a satirical title, but then again, there might have been a good
No. This isn't satirical. This is it's not a satirical movie. And Mario's asking, where is it? It's still in production, or it just was announced to be in production. So yeah.
We got a question here that I want to answer.
Sure.
Hey,
Adam and Red, what happened with the little Rush bottles I had in the early 80s in high school? It was around then and suddenly unavailable.
I was the inventor of Rush, and I used to distribute to a lot of different people. I owned another company called Great Lakes Products, and it had I owned several companies, but basically it was all the same chemical. And all of a sudden there was a guy that came around from the FDA, and he started asking questions like who I distributed to, how much I distributed, and everything else. And I didn't know. I had no idea at all. But he told me when I asked him some questions, he was an Oriental guy, nice guy. And I asked him some questions, and he told me that he wasn't sure, but they thought there was a link between this and AIDS. And when he said that, I said, "Goodbye, company. Just destroy all the records."
Yeah.
I let it go, and Adam and I were talking about it on the show one day, and on my blog, and I went to look it up, and it says some say that the person had something to do with organized crime in Chicago. That's all it has to say. Nothing is really written about it that connects me in any way. However, Sandy, who's on Facebook and knows me quite well for many years, said I put that on Facebook, that whole video. And she says, "Oh, I remember when I was filling those little bottles and putting labels on them for you." And she did. She used to do. And she said, "Brings back old memories, Bill." Oh,
fucking little bottles of Rush.
yeah.
Unbelievable.
They were 1 dram. They were exactly 1 dram.
That's crazy.
Eric,
you know the Allegretti guy?
Jimmy Allegretti on Rush Street? No, I didn't know him. My dad did, though. He used to talk about him all the time. And every mob guy I talked to, Marshall Cafano and people like that, they knew Allegretti, Jimmy Allegretti. He was like the mayor of Rush Street. Quite a guy.
Devin, how ironic. When I bought my first bottle of Rush, it was at a porn shop. Well, let me tell you something, Devin. They don't sell Rush at the magic shop or at the freaking comic book store, okay? I can tell you that.
No, they don't sell them at the corner drugstore either.
Holy moly. You aren't going to walk into the damn Kroger and find that.
No.
Yeah. All right.
But
Matt Perry. Surveillance pic of Spilatro's killers in a parking lot shortly after the murder. They look like middle-aged gym teachers. Crazy what these guys are capable of. I've never seen that pic, the surveillance pic he's talking about. Have you?
It's AI produced. Somebody put it on their YouTube channel. It's not. There was no footage of it back then.
Ryan Brown, super sticker.
Thank you, buddy. Merry Christmas to you too.
If you do a live on Christmas Eve, I will be in the hospital still. Saw a doctor today and told long road to recovery. I hate the antibiotic side effects. Sorry to hear that, Ryan.
Ryan, what do they have you on? Keflex? Sulfur base or?
Oh, I think he said somebody's got antibiotic side effects. They make you lethargic. Antibiotics.
Well, yeah, but sulfur. I'm allergic to sulfur, and I used to take Keflex, great for gunshot wounds, but it was one of those kind of things where all of a sudden when it got on me bad. Ryan, I will be on. I don't know if Adam and I are doing a show, but I will be on next week and Christmas Eve, and I will say some prayers for you and hope you get well, better in the meantime. And if you can, just remember this. It's not the end of the world. I had a problem with my leg where I had some kind of ulcers because of what I have, Adam. Chronic venous something. Anyway, I had ulcers.
You have you got a vein problem.
My whole leg was black, and it took me like 4 or 5 months to heal up. And every day it was like, what am I going to do? Then when I finally got healed, I was so happy. And it is a long road for recovery on anything. But I was taking some antibiotics that were really a killer. I mean, they really were. There were some shots that they gave me that were outrageous. But they put me on IVs and all different kinds of stuff. And it did make me goofy. But Ryan, thank you so much. I appreciate the super sticker. And I also appreciate you. You've been with me all the time here. He's one of your, I got him from you, Adam.
Yeah.
One of our prescribers from the Mob Blog. And
I came over from Mob Blog. So Scott H. I just looked it up too. Scott H says that's what Grok says. A guy named Jay Freezer invented Rush in San Francisco in 1976.
Not true. I had it in 1970. So that's
I guess records can't be kept clearly. It says that it was first synthesized in 1844 by French chemist Anton Jerome Ballard.
That's
correct. And it was used in the 1860s to treat angina.
I don't know. technical problem, but one thing about it was one molecule off of rocket fuel.
Was it amyl nitrate, right? Amyl.
And I used N-butyl nitrate. I didn't use the amyl alcohol. I used N-butyl.
Butyl, isopropyl, or pentan.
N-butyl alcohol was used as rocket fuel in 1947. Did you just do that?
Do what?
What's
the matter?
The screen just shrunk.
No, I didn't just do that. That could just be the comment being up there.
Also, the StreamYard duck is in the corner. I don't know. Technical problems, folks. Yes, it is a vascular dilator. All of them are.
There you go.
Johnny Russo said he invented Rush.
Eric, you guys did an episode on bathhouses with my family you guys did an episode on bathhouses with my family came into Chicago. They ran bathhouses on Chicago Avenue. Interesting. Gotta have a place to shower.
That was I'm trying to think of the name of that one place, but it was very, very popular with mob guys. And that's where I believe Marshall Cafano, Russian Louis used to go there. Rush came from Toronto in 1968. Whoops. Wrong Rush. You're right. Rush came from Northwestern Library to my house at 4121 Richmond in 1970. And shortly after I got it, I called Wheaton Glass in New Jersey, and they had a catalog and it had 1 gram bottles, and they asked me how many wanted, and I said, how many can I get? What's the breaker price? And they told me, I don't know, at the price I want, at the breaker price, it was like 3 cents a bottle. And I said, I'll take 1,000 cases of it. And they said, I increased it to 10,000 cases, and a case was a gross of bottles. So this big semi pulls up on a one-way street in Chicago in front of my house and stops, and they're looking at the address and they're expecting a warehouse. I had an apartment downstairs. Those boxes of bottles came out and they went in the apartment from floor to ceiling, all the way from the kitchen through the 2 bedrooms, the hallway, and the living room.
Isn't that a fire hazard having that much in there?
No, those are the bottles. There were sort of bottles.
Oh, they're just empty bottles. Okay. I was like, holy shit, man. That's like a bad place to stack them all up.
Oh, yeah. Then I had some chemicals that I couldn't make them up as cheap as the people in California. So I had a 50-gallon drum sent in. But a 50-gallon drum, you're talking 1 gram per bottle. I mean, that's not a lot. So it's very small amounts, like an eyedropper. So this big 50-gallon drum comes in. It was on the tarmac, and it was expanding, and it had big things on it. It's flammable. And I called. I kept asking for it because I knew it was on the plane. And the guy says, "Is that okay?" He said, "It looks like it's going to explode. It's pushing out." It was plastic, 55-gallon drum, or 55. And I said, "Where is it?" And it says on it, "Keep cool." And he says, "Oh, it's out on a tarmac and sitting in the sun." And I said, "I wouldn't go near it."
Yeah.
But they delivered it to me. And that was my first load. We actually used an eyedropper to fill the bottles with it. That's the way it was.
Wow. You asked, Ryan Brown said that he is on piperacillin and tazobactam.
Tazobactam is terrible. I was on it too.
Were you?
Yeah, and hypercillin is a real killer, man. I got that in shots. That was a rump shot for me. I could only take 1 shot every day, and they took me 1 day, and it was alternating.
Sounds like they got him on the drip of it. So hope you feel better, Ryan. Really do, man.
Rest up, Ryan.
So Sibba doesn't know what Rush was. She's asking, or he's asking, was Rush a Viagra? LOL.
To some people, it was. I never used it for anything. I did get under the influence of it when a tube broke in the factory.
You never tried it just to see what it would do?
I hated the smell of it. I just hated it.
It smells terrible.
But so I was in the factory one time when a tube got pinched and broke, and all of a sudden the liquid was going every place, and the people started acting crazy, and I was acting crazy, and I saw it broke, so I'm dragging these people outside, and it was like it was in our lungs, and it did something to our reasoning, our thinking, put it very far off, and I never liked it. It certainly wasn't about cannabis. It wasn't even close to cannabis.
Lightheaded, like a lightheaded feeling, like a lack of oxygen to your brain.
Definitely lack of oxygen. Definitely.
So my father was a EMT, and I remember one day standing in the kitchen, and he had it was a little gray weaved little weaved pouch that had a glass tube of it inside.
And you can
my dad
snap it like that, or you can push it with
you just push down and crack it, pop it. That's why they got the name poppers, because you crack it. That's how it popped. And my dad said to me, "Come here." He said, "I want you to smell this." And what's that, Dad? Dad was cool. Dad was here, put your hand out. Here's a little mercury. Look at that. And pour it back in the bottle. All right, you don't want to touch it too long. I guess it didn't fuck me up, so that's good. But the little amyl nitrate, and he said, "Here, smell it. Take a whiff." Oh my God! I tell you, my dad said they use them on the ambulance when people fake that they fainted or they're laying there like they're unconscious and they're being dramatic. Yeah, in fact, EMTs just pop one of those things and stick it under your nose, man. If you're unconscious, you'll lay there. If you ain't unconscious, you go, whoa, holy shit. It's hard to, can't imagine somebody would want to breathe that intentionally.
Yeah. Well, even here's something. Ryan Brown remembers this story that I told about. Yeah, I think you remember too, about Dick Hoyt, where Johnny Rogers and I were making up an experimental a batch.
Is this the toilet story?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, tell it.
Ryan Brown just brought it up. You want me to tell it again? Okay, I'll tell it again.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I'm trying to, let me get his thing. Ryan, how come I can't get you here? I think it has something to do with our screen shrinking. Can you put up his comment?
The toilet story when you were making Rush was wild.
Okay. In 1969 or 1968, somewhere around there, they outlawed. They used to be able. You used to be able to buy those poppers, and you get them at the drugstore. And all of a sudden, they outlawed. You couldn't buy them without a prescription, and that's what made me go find something that wasn't amyl alcohol. It was N-butyl alcohol, just one molecule difference. And I got a beaker from Fisher
Chemistry.
Yes, three neck beaker, and we had some acid, and we had some sodium sulfate, and some water, and we put it in. And Johnny Rogers took over. Alva Johnson Rogers. He was the hillbilly that everybody talked about. That was Marshall Cafano's prison partner when he was in prison, cellmate, whatever. So we're in his apartment upstairs of 613 Racine in the back building. And he's got the window open. It's summertime. It's hot. And he keeps making up these test batches to see what it's going to yield. And when he's done, he keeps pouring it down the toilet, the excess. And he's got some guy there that's a real goof. He said, oh, he's sucking it up with the pipette, the acid. And this is sulfuric acid. So anyway,
He's doing what? He's like doing what, like a siphon?
Yeah, with this pipette thing. Guy was nuts. I mean, totally nuts. And he said, "Oh, I could take a bath in that stuff." He was off. He must have been high on something. But anyway, Roger's got the brine on the bottom to keep it cool, and he's just shaking away and shaking away. And he said, "You know, this thing's turning. First, it turned yellow, the gas on the inside. He was putting too much acid in the mix at one time, and it started turning all kinds of. It looked like a disco light. It was turning all different kinds of colors. And as he's shaking it in the ice and the brine, he turns around and says, "This thing gets any hotter, I'm going to toss it out the window." And he wound up putting it down the toilet. So must have been maybe 20 minutes later, he's working on another batch, and it was Dick Hoyt's apartment. So Dick goes into the bathroom. Dick was a big man. He was a big guy. He goes into the bathroom and he shuts the door, and he smoked Camel cigarettes. So while he was sitting on the pot, he takes the cigarette butt and he throws it between his legs. Boom! The thing explodes. It was bad. It was really bad. I mean, this thing exploded. It was a mess. Toilet paper everywhere. I mean, dirt. Terrible. But Dick comes out of the bathroom. He was a hairy guy. His butt was on fire. He kept trying to hit his butt with his hands. He says, "Somebody put me out." Somebody went over and took a towel, threw it on him, and gave it to him. But we laughed about that. He even laughed with me about it for years. We talked about that, and it was funny. It really was funny. Yeah, Johnny Rogers. Yeah. Johnny Rogers was a partner with me in Rush, and what happened was he sold me when he was leaving Chicago. He sold me his interest in the store, and he also sold me the interest in Rush. And when he did, he cheated me. My Fodler reactor, I think I had like maybe $60,000 worth of equipment at that time, maybe more. But my Fodler reactor was something else. That was expensive. It had a thing that went up the side, a fire escape type thing went up the side. And he took that over and he started making Quaaludes. And he was down in Texas and he got caught crossing the border and everything was confiscated and gone. So Joey Lombardo sends Phil Amato over to me and says, "How's that Rush thing going?" And I said, "I don't have anything to do with it anymore." I said, that guy took everything away from me. He said, "Oh," I went back and told him. So Joe came back to me. Joe asked for me to come in. And he says, "Why don't you start that thing back up again? He makes some money with it." And I said, "Okay." So I did. And that's when he made arrangements for me Joe Lombardo did, to go out to Manheim Road. Sammy Sicola's place is all on Manheim Road then. And I was with Phil Amato because I didn't know those guys, but Phil did. And even if he didn't, he'd turn around and say, "You know who I am." And he was his father-in-law, so he hung with Joey and everybody else. But when we were out there, we moved a lot of product. I mean, my trunk was full. By the time we came back, it was empty, and we had cash. And so everybody was happy. I mean, I was happy too. I mean, they actually promoted my sales. So, but what did happen is a funny story that I'm going to throw in here. Is there was a guy on the side of the road as we were coming back towards Chicago, and it was on Manheim Road in the dark of night, and he kind of waved me over, and I pulled over. He was in a Pico with one of those like Navy caps, beanie caps, dark. And he said, "What are you doing out here?" Joey Lombardo. And I said, "We just came back from Sammy Sicola's." He said, "Good." He said, "I see you." So we left. In the car all the way home, Phil Amato was scared to death. He said, "Boy, we walked in on something. I don't know what he was doing out there, but he wasn't picking his nose." He said, "I got a feeling we're dead." I never thought anything of it. Later on, I told that to Joe. I told him, Lombardo. I told him what happened. And he said, "Is that what he really thought?" He said, "You know why his nickname is the Brain, don't you?" That was his nickname, the Brain.
Yeah.
Anyway, lots of funny Rush stories, Ryan.
Wow.
Sammy was a good guy.
Yeah. I knew them. I think.
No, his family doesn't run the Admiral. Somebody else runs the Admiral now. And I know everything about that whole family. So you're a little bit off on that guy. He may have died of cancer. I doubt it. I know he's selling his house 2 years ago. And it belonged to, who's the basketball player? Dennis Rodman or something like that. It was from the guy from the Bulls.
Yeah.
But anyway, he had that house and it was gorgeous. I don't know if he still has it or not. Ryan Brown actually sent me the, I think it was Ryan, sent me the email when it was for sale. And as far as the Admiral goes, I can show you I know the lineage of that since day one. It belonged to Milwaukee Phil. And Frank Schweiss actually built it. And then Phil's nephew ran it. And that was Patsy Riccardi, Riccardi, whatever you want to call it. And in 1986, Phil was dead like in 72, I believe. But in 1976, Schweiss was with me, or 86, excuse me. He was with me, and there was a problem with the money, and he went out and killed Patsy Riccardi. That's all on tape. It's, that was all, no problem with it. Eric, you seem to want some attention here. I'm going to give you some attention. Was it owned by Kenny Goldberg and Louis Wolf? No, but there were several buildings. Actually, it was owned by Chicago Title and Trust, and it was in Phil's name in the beginning. He held and he signed it over, but it was a trust, a land trust, the property. And it was all the way back to when Phil bought it. It was Phil bought a bunch of theaters, 3 Penny Cinema. There was a bunch of them that he bought that time. And this was back in the 60s. But as far as Louis Wolf goes, I knew Louis Wolf from a gambling problem he had. Louis lost a lot of money to people that I knew, like Jimmy Kozo and other people. And Jimmy Kozo came to me, and he had a nightclub over on, I believe it was a gay club over on Broadway. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but I can't. It was huge. Had like 5 bars in it. It was almost like a New York disco type thing. And the guy went bust. Something happened where they got busted so many times. It was pathetic. They didn't have the clout that I did politically with the police. And so he came to me and he said, see what you could do with that piece of property over there. And I went over and looked at it, and Louis owned it. And I said, what about Louis? He's the landlord. He said, forget about it. We own Louis from now on. Louis ain't doing nothing. And Louis was big. I mean, a lot of real estate in Chicago, very heavy. But he owned some gambling debts. Some heavy gambling debts to the wrong people. They'll take your teeth out of your mouth.
Right.
So that's about Louis.
Okay.
I don't know who Kenny Goldberg was. I just didn't run with that set guy.
Eric said, then you know his dad.
No. Believe me, if his dad was somebody that I had any type of actions with, I would have known. Maybe I would have wrote about him in my book. I don't know.
They bought the Uptown and Granada Theater. They bought a lot of shit in the Riviera. They own.
No,
they
Eric,
own 2.
No, who tells you that? He went by many names. You said that on Adam's show just a little while ago.
Talking about his dad. He's talking about his dad. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Anyhow,
So TW.
He
The
didn't
easiest
own
way
the,
to be a bookie.
he didn't own the Riviera. He didn't own the Granada because I knew who did, and the Uptown too. Sorry, guy. Look it up. The Uptown. There's a big story on it right now. They bought a
Yeah.
lot of shit property in the amphitheater. Never mind.
They bought a lot of shit. Property is the amphitheater. He's using speech to text.
Mhm.
So it's, yeah. The Uptown is owned by Jerry's Jan Productions. Now they're broke.
Yeah. But it changed. It changed hands a few times. There's a couple stories on it. The Granada, I know the story on that one too. The only reason I know the Granada as well as I do is that was the place I went to see. I believe it's on Foster, if I'm not mistaken. But I went to see The Exorcist there when it came out. That was like a long time ago, man. What year was that? 1969? The Exorcist?
The Exorcist? I thought it was the 70s. Let me look. 73.
73. I went there to see The Exorcist, and I believe me, it was on the northwest side of Chicago, and people were parked on people's lawns and every place else trying to get a parking spot over there. It was crazy. And then after I watched it, in order to get the tickets for that, I talked to one of the ushers who actually bought the tickets for me because everybody was waiting in line. I mean, there was a line like 5 blocks long, and
right.
It was cold. It was wintertime. It was like now, and everybody, they're still out there, man. And so I said, I'm not waiting in line like this. This is insane. And there was a couple friends I had that wanted to watch it. This gal I knew wanted to watch it. Really. So I had the usher get me the tickets. And when I got the tickets, we walked right. I parked. I found a place to park. It was a yellow zone where you're not supposed to park. I found a place to park. I parked there, put a ticket on my car that I had from somebody. I took it off somebody else's car, put it on mine, and we walked over, wasn't far, short walk. And instead of waiting in the long line as we looked around the blocks, we went right in the door with the tickets. I thought the crowd was going to knock the glass out of the doors, but that's my experience at the Granada. Does it tell you where the Granada is? I think it's either on Lawrence or it's on Foster.
I don't know. I don't know where it was, but Mr. Hoffman said people were fainting during The Exorcist.
They were
fainting, vomiting, and hysteria.
They had an emergency unit there with the fire department and ambulance and everything else for taking people out. It was very bad. It was crazy.
Yeah, it says here they had paramedics that were called for the screenings. Some venues provided barf bags and had ambulances on standby during. That's crazy. What great promotion though for a movie. Man, this movie is so movie is so out there. We got an ambulance outside just in case you have a problem. That's a movie I want to go see. Good advertising.
Actually, the Granada was built by the Marx Brothers in 1926.
What was built by the Marx Brothers?
The Granada Theater.
The Granada Theater?
Yes. And it was on Sheridan Road. I'm thinking of a different one that I went to see. It was on Sheridan Road. And no, I was there. I was at the Granada, but for another reason.
Gotcha.
But
they said, did you see Blair Witch?
The Blair Witch Project? Yes.
Yes. So they said people also got sick there, but that was mainly from motion sickness due to the handheld camera work. Because if you watch that movie, I mean, it bounces around, man. It's can't imagine sitting in front of a whole screen shaking like that. That'll make you sick. So, yeah.
Brian Brown, good news.
All right.
He's
got his own hospital room.
You're going to get a private room because you're infectious.
You're infectious. They want to keep you quarantined. Wow, and he's on something else. He said too. He while you were talking, he said that he's on. Oh, blood thinner, Love knocks makes me nauseous. Love knocks. Yeah, blood thinners aren't good. Just like that Eliquist. You don't take any of that, do you? Aspirin, maybe?
Everybody gets upset because I don't take anything. If I go to a doctor or somebody like that, or any when I go to see the skin doctor about my cancer, I have occasionally cancer comes up. They'll ask me, "Are you on any medications?" No. You're not on anything? No. And that bothers a lot of doctors, surgeons especially.
Bothers them, really?
Yeah, they think it's weird that I'm not on anything. They think maybe I do need something, but
they're ready to prescribe it, boy. Let me tell you, take that pad out and start writing, boy.
Oh yeah.
What do we need to give you? We need to give you a little of this, a little of that, and one of these, and 4 of those. Yeah.
I have a story for Ryan, if you want to hear it, Ryan. It's I was in a fight, and somebody held out a Canadian Club bottle that was broken, the neck of it. They were holding it by the neck, and I went to punch the guy, and it went up into my arm, and it cut the radial and 2 secondary arteries in my arm. They rushed me to the hospital, and I went to Ravenswood Hospital. No, not Ravenswood. It was in 17. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's not Ravenswood. I was born in Ravenswood. So anyway, I get to the hospital, and I'm in the hospital, and they made me stay the night after the surgery. And there was a machine that went shh, boom, shh, boom. I mean, loud, like a punch press. And it kept me awake all night. Plus, the nurses would come in like every half hour and shine a light in my face. It was very difficult to sleep. I didn't sleep. So early hours of the morning, like 5:30, I'm like really upset about not having any sleep, the surgery, the blood. I lost 6 pints of blood I lost. So they had blood waiting standby for me that they never used.
That's all your blood, man. 6 pints.
That's what I had. That's what I lost. So
that's
they kept
like all of it.
They kept pumping. Well, they kept pumping me with saline to just keep me working. So at any rate, this nurse comes around early hours of the morning. It's almost daylight now, and it's about 5 o'clock. And she said, "Is there anything I could do to make you more comfortable?"
Oh, sorry, 6 liters, not 6 pints. I'm off on my bad. It's 6 liters. It's like all your blood, 6 liters in your body, not 6 pints. Sorry.
So at any rate, what happened was she asked me if there was anything she could do to make me more comfortable. And I said, "Yeah, there is something." And she said, "What?" And I said, "You know that noise that shh, boom, sounds like a punch press?" And she said, "Oh, yes." And I said, "What is it?" And she said, "Oh, that's a machine that keeps this lady alive in the other room. It's a breathing machine. And then when she stops breathing, a beep will go off and it'll go beep. And then we go in and pinch her and wake her up." She said, "Isn't that wonderful?" And I said, "It's terrific. Can you do me a favor?" She said, "What?" And I said, "Keep her alive in the basement." She looked at me, never talked to me after that.
Ron Roos says when he's at the doctor and they ask him, "Are you on anything?" he say, "Yeah, chair."
Good going, Ron.
Yeah. Way to go. Wow. Well, we're getting to the end of the show, Red. What's your thoughts?
My thoughts are, I hope Ryan gets well, and everybody else here. I hope Eric finds somebody to talk to. He's talking about Louis Wolf and Kenny own the property next to Spiegel on Pershing Road. That's out by Cicero. Yeah. Okay. Eric, you need some attention.
The movie Hoffa. I saw him filming a fight scene off Pershing Road. Yeah, Eric's got a lot to say.
Yeah, but they didn't film Hoffa in Chicago. Sorry,
You
Eric.
almost feel like, back in the 90s, they had those chat lines where you'd call in a party line and you could sit there and talk with a bunch of people. That's what this is over here.
Oh,
Exactly.
I got to tell you something. There's 2 times in my entire life that this happened. Once was I was listening to a talk show. We used to be able to call in for requests on songs. And it was a woman DJ, really nice gal. And I called in, and the radio was playing in the background. She told me to turn my radio down so I could talk to her. And I did. And she said, well, what can I do for you? And I said, can you play Misty for me? And she said, is this a gag? Because the movie Play Misty for me came out. And I said, no, it's not a gag. I like Earl Garner's Misty. I like the piano. And she said, we talked for a few minutes. And she said, okay. And when she put it on the air, she said, this is for Red. It's called Earl Garner's Misty. And she said, I hope he likes it. That was that. The other one was Delilah. I don't know if any of people listen to Delilah, but she's always
Delilah? Delilah's great. I love Delilah. I used to listen to Delilah all the time.
I don't know how old she is now, but I still listen to her now. And I was listening back in like 2001, 2002. I mean, going way back in the early 2000s. So I called in one time for a request, and I was talking to her about something. And she mentioned me on the air. And when I used the name Red, and I was living in Palm Beach at the time. And I told her part of my story. And I said, I really can't tell you my real name or the name I use now. But she got on the air and she said, this is for the mysterious Red. And every friend of mine that heard that called me. I didn't know she was simulcasting across the United States. But every friend that I knew that heard that called me. And somebody taped it on audio tape and sent me a copy of the tape.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Delilah's 65.
Well, she must have been in her, 30s then?
Yeah. She's been doing it a long time.
Yeah, she had 2 adopted children then. I think she's got like 9 now. She's had a lot of kids. She's in tech.
Looks like she's had her show going for she started in the early 70s as a teenager in middle or high school. She won a speech contest when she was 13 in Reedsport, Oregon. She started when she was about 14 years old on the radio, man.
Well, she lived in Alabama at one time, and I think she lives in Texas now. But she had adopted children. She had some children of her own, but that's why she gives love advice, because she's had some very bad relationships. But she's great with kids, and she's a wonderful person. So I had a good time with her. Can you tell what year she syndicated?
Yeah, she syndicated her signature late nighttime request and dedication began locally in 84 in Seattle, called Lights Out with Delilah Renee. And it went national syndication in 96, Delilah After Dark, and later just shortened to Delilah.
Okay, well, I think it was 2001 or 2002.
Yeah.
That
I like Delilah. I listen to her when I get a chance. But we're wrapping up, Red. We got less than a minute to go, buddy.
Okay, Guy. Everybody, thank you so much.
See you next week.
Thank you. And we'll see you next week. And hopefully everybody's going to be okay. And Adam, thank you for coming by. Thank you for helping me with the show. Thank you for being my friend. And let's have a good year. God bless you.
All righty.
It is Red Wemette out.
The combination of the videotapes and Wemette's testimony resulted in the conviction of 2 men on extortion charges. One of them was Frank Schweiz, known in syndicate circles as the German, a feared mob terrorist and a suspect in a number of gangland murders.
He was described to me by other outfit individuals as the most feared hitman. And as he said to me, my reputation precedes me, son.